Hello and namaste everyone. Myself Engineer Nilesh Jha. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see some of the status bar options in AutoCAD 2023. First of all, let us see what is the status bar and where is the status bar in our AutoCAD. In this portion you are seeing at the bottom of your working space, this is known as the status bar, and here some of the options we are provided like grid mode, snap mode, dynamic mode. So these all are the status bar options or the toggle buttons. And now if any one of these options are disappeared or hidden on your status bar, what you can do is you can just go to the customization menu, and from here you can check all the options or the options that you want. For example, for now I have here the grid mode present, but I don't want it, so I will uncheck this, and now you can see the grid mode has been disappeared. But again, if I check this, the grid mode is present there, but I don't want this snap mode here. Then what I can do, I can just uncheck this, the snap mode is disappeared now. So in this way, if any one of the option that is required in the drawing is not present here, you can just go to customization menu, and from there you can check the options that you want for your drawing. So now we will see the very first, this grid mode. For the grid mode, the shortcut key is F7. You can turn it on or off either just by clicking here or by pressing F7 on your keyboard. Okay, so if you press F7 it will be turned off, and if you press F7 it will be turned on again. Here, as you noticed on your screen, if this mode is turned off, the screen is fully blank, no lines are present there. But if this mode is turned on, all the lines has been present again. So this graph type grid you are seeing on your screen is nothing but this grid mode, and it doesn't matter whether it is on or off. It will not help or will not show any error in your drawing. It is just for the visualization. If it is activated as it is now, it displays a grid pattern that covers the XY plane, and it helps us visualize distances and alignments. You can see all the lines, the verticals and horizontals. It covers all the XY plane, and it will only help us to visualize all the lines that we create here. For example, if I select the line command and will draw any line, we can just visualize all the lines that we are creating here. Once this is turned off, we cannot visualize or we cannot just judge with our eyes the lines are horizontal or vertical or at any angle. But if this mode is turned on, one can see the line is horizontal or vertical, and one can visualize what is the alignment of this line. Now you can see these are the small cells between the major lines. Here you can see these major lines are present after every 5 cells. Now if you want to change this, like if you right click here on this option, you will get the grid settings. In grid settings you can see here the option measure line every 5. It means the major lines are present after every 5 cells, 1 2 3 4 5. Now if you want to change it to the major lines after every 10 cells, you can just provide value here 1 0 10 and okay. Now you can see the major lines are present after every 10 cells, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. It doesn't matter. And now if you want to change the spacing of these grids, what you can do is just right click here, grid settings, and here is a snap and grid, and snap and grid you can see the grid mode. Now as it is on, it is checked here. And if you want to change the spacing for the grid X and grid Y, you can just enter the value here, suppose 1.0, and here also the value will be automatically changed, grid Y spacing and okay. And now you can see the spacing of grid X and grid Y has been changed. Again, if you want to go to initial settings, then what you can do is 0.5 and 0.5 and okay, again it has been changed. And now if you want to change it to again measure lines after every 5 cells, again go to grid settings, and in the grid settings you have so many options here, but we will go to snap and grid only, and here you can change the value to 5 and okay. Nothing will be changed or nothing will happen if this mode is turned on or off, it doesn't matter. And now the second option that we are going to see is snap mode. For this snap mode, you can see the shortcut key is F9. So by pressing F9, you can activate or deactivate it, or you can just click here to activate and again click here to deactivate. I would suggest you to keep it deactivated, as it may create errors in your drawing if it is active. For example, how it may create the error. Let us see. Now, as it is turned off, let me create a line. I will create the line from this point to this point, again this point to this point. And now if I want to create the same thing by turning it on, you can see the snap mode is now turned on. I cannot create again. Suppose I want to create from here. Let us again go to line command, and now I cannot choose the intermediate point here because it restricts cursor movement to specified grid intervals, and now it will only snap the grid intervals, the rectangular intervals. You can see here I cannot start my line, or I cannot create any point in the intermediate points of these intervals. When grid snaps are turned on, the cursor snaps to rectangular grid interval. Yes, so I can only create my lines starting from these grids like this, and cannot create any point or any line or anything in the intermediate points. So I have to click only those rectangular grids points. So this may create error in our drawing because we wanted to create our line from the intermediate points, but it wasn't possible when this mode was turned on. So I will keep this mode turned off during my drawing. And now as you can see, I can click anywhere. Yes, I can click anywhere in the drawing space now. And to turn it off or on, what shortcut key you can use? You can use F9. And the next one is dynamic input mode. If this dynamic input mode is not being shown on your status bar, what you can do? You can just go to this customization menu, and here is the option dynamic input. If it is unchecked, the option won't be shown here, and to make it visible, just check this option and you will get the dynamic input option here. This dynamic option, what does it mean? How does it help us? If it is activated, it displays a command interface near the cursor, which you can use to enter commands and specify options and values. For example, if I select the line command from here, you can see wherever my cursor goes, there is one interface saying us about what we should do next. For example, it is asking us to specify the first point. If I specify the first point here, now it will tell us to specify next point. Again, I specify my next point here, and then it will tell me specify next point. And you can see another box where we can enter the values. Suppose I enter the value 10 and then enter. You can see the line has been created. Again, it is asking me specify next point. Again, I will put the value, suppose 10. Again, this line is created. So if it is active, it will show me this interface. Now again, if I turn it off, suppose this is turned off now. Now no commands, no values options are being shown there. And if I enter any value, suppose 5, the line will be created, but the options won't be shown there. The interface won't be shown there. What command I have to do next, what step I should have to take next is not shown there, as it is turned off. Again, if I turn it on, all the things are shown there, like specify next point, and the values of the distances and the angles are being shown there. So this was the dynamic input mode. You can just turn it on or off by just clicking at this point. And now the next mode or the next option is ortho mode. What is the ortho mode? Here you can read at the ortho mode. It restricts cursor orthogonally. What does it mean? Suppose now I'm creating this line at any angle. You can see there I can create at any angle, but if I want to create my lines only horizontal and vertical, that is orthogonal 90 degree to each other, then what should I do? We have so many options, like I should have to mention the angles at every now and then just to create my lines. You can see here I will have to mention the angles, but a short error can create error in our drawing. But if it is turned on, the cursor will snap orthogonally. Suppose if I move in this direction, it will create only horizontal lines, and if I move in this direction anywhere, it will create only vertical lines. You can see here horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. So if this ortho mode is turned on, the lines are created horizontally and vertically only. Now the next option we are having is this polar tracking. Let me clear all these things. Now the next option here is polar tracking. The shortcut key for this option is F10. You can press F10 on your keyboard to turn it on or F10 to turn it off. And this polar tracking is just opposite to this orthogonal. As orthogonal restricted the cursor to snap just orthogonally, that is only the 90 degrees, we can create any angles. You can see here 5, 10, 15, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 15, 30, 45, 60. So you can see any angle we can track. It restricts cursor to specified angles. So it will restrict our cursor to the specified angles where you can create your lines at the increment of some specified angles. For example, if you click on this drop down arrow, you will see a bunch of options present there. Suppose I want to create my lines at 5-degree angle. I want to specify the points at every 5-degree angle. I will just click here, suppose at this point at 0 degree, and then I want to specify at every 5 degree. Then I have to enter the value every time at 5-degree angle. I cannot do automatically, but when I turn it on and select the increment of 5 degree from here, you can see 5, 10, 15, 20. We have so many options, but I want to create my lines at every 5 degree, or I want my cursor to snap at only 5 degree increment. Then what I will do, I will just select this, and here you can see the green dotted lines will appear at every 5-degree angle. Suppose I move up 5 degree, 10 degree, 15 degree, 20 degree, 25 degree, 30 degree, 40, 35 degree, 40 degree at the increment of every 5-degree angle. But I want to track at every 18 degree. Suppose here is 18 degree. Then what it will do is, you can see 18 degree, the green dotted line has been appeared, 36 degree, 54 degree. Yes, in this way you can track at the specified angles. But what if the specified angles is not present here? Suppose I want to track at every 35 degree. Here is 30 degree and 45 degree, but I want to snap at every 35 degree or 40 degree. What should I do now? I will just go to tracking settings. In the tracking settings, I will select the increment angle from here, suppose 35 degree. Yes, okay. And now you can see here the green dotted line has been created at 35-degree angle, again at 70 degree. Now my cursor is snapping at the increment of 35 degree. Yes, so in this way you can create your own settings. But in addition to this 35 degree, you want your cursor to snap at every 9 degree and 17 degree. Then what you can do, suppose in the tracking settings, we have created the increment angle of 35 degree, and again we want the additional angles to be snapped on a 9 degree and 21 degree. Then what should I do? I should just click here at the additional angle, and I will delete the previous one. Suppose I deleted this and I deleted this, and again I create the new additional angles. For the new, I will select here 9 degree. Again I want to create a 21 degree. Okay, and now my cursor will snap at every 9 degree, 21 degree and 35 degree. As you can see, this is 9 degree, 21 degree and 35 degree. You can see, yes, this is 70 degree. So in this way we can use the polar tracking to track the specified angles, or to restrict our cursor to specified angles. And now if you want to turn it on, and now if you want to turn it off, what you can do, you can just click here or use the shortcut button F10 from your keyboard. So I will just click here to turn it off. Now the next option we have with us is object snap. This object snap cursor to 2D reference points. For example, let me turn it on, and we have the shortcut key F3 for this. So this option has been turned on now, and let me show you with an example. I have created this line by turning on the ortho mode, this horizontal line, and now I want to snap the end points and the midpoint of this line and create my line starting from the end points and the midpoints. Then what should I do? I should keep this option on, object snap on, as it snap the reference points. So my reference points are the end points and the middle points. Now again go to line command and point your cursor to the end point, and now it will show you that this point is the end point, and create your line from there. Again get out of the command and select the command again, and again come to this end point, and now this will show you this is the end point, and create your line here. Again, if you want to create a line from the midpoint of this line, then what you can do, again go to line command and put your cursor here, and it will snap the midpoint also. So this midpoint is a reference point, those endpoints were also the reference points for the new lines. And again create your line from here. So you can see all the points, all the objects have been referenced there. Again, suppose we have a circle here, we have a circle and we want to create a line with the reference of the center of this circle. So now what we can do is go to line command, and when you put your cursor on this circle, a plus sign will appear at the center, and that center means that is the geometric center of this circle, and from there you can create your line. Yes, again suppose we have two circles here, one circle and another circle, and I want to create a line joining the center of these two circles. Then what I can do is I can just go to line command and then put my cursor anywhere near this object, and here you can see a center has been appeared, and I will click here, and by turning off this ortho mode I will again go here, and here you can see the geometric center of this circle has been also appeared, and we'll click here, and now you can see a line has been created by joining the centers of these two circles. And now let me delete all these lines, and again we will create these lines by turning the object snap mode off, and now this object snap mode is off. And now again I want to do the same thing, but what error will occur here is we want to create the line with the reference of the endpoints and the middle points. Let us see here. Now as it is saying, we can see this is the endpoint. I will press here and create a line. Now let us see, was it correct? No. Yes, you can see here this wasn't correct. Yes. Again, if we want to create line by taking the reference of this endpoint, again we clicked here and created line. Again you can see there was the error. Again, if we want to create line from the middle point, we cannot see any object snap here, and we will create this point. We do not know whether it is midpoint or not. So this comes to be the error in our drawing. And now if we turn it on this option, this will clearly tells us that this is the end point, this is the middle point. You can see there. Yes, you can see this line is completely joined, and this line is not even joined here, and here also this line is completely joined at the end point. So this was the importance of this object snapping mode. And when it is turned off, we cannot see any center point. Suppose the line option is on there, we cannot see any center point here. Yes, we cannot see any center point there. Now let us see whether it is correct or not. Suppose selecting line point and turn on this option, and here we can see I have selected the center, and here also center, and here also center. And now let us see how good it was. Yes, you can see these 2 points are not at the same point, these 2 points are at different points, and these 2 points are also at the different points. So this option will help you create drawing with no errors. And again at the side of this we have the object snap tracking. This object snap tracking is also of very good use. Let us see the use of this option, but before that let me clear the drawing. Now the object snap tracking, suppose I want to create a rectangle here, first point, second point, third point, and where should I provide the fourth point so that these 2 points will coincide, these 2 points will be at the same point. I don't know about that. I have to give distance for these things, but I do not want to give the distance, and I want to create that point there. So what should I do now? I should just turn it on and press my cursor here on this point, and now this will snap the point here. You can see if I provide my point here, it will be at the same point. You can see the rectangle has been created. Again, if I want to start my line from this point which is in the same line with this, yes, I want to create a point or start my line from this point which is in the same line with this line. So again, what should I do now? I should go to line command and then put my cursor here and move at this point, and here you can see Again, I want to create a point which is in the same line with this line. Then again, what should I do? You can see here, the line has been snapped. Yes, and again, I want to create the point which is in the same line with this point. Then I will keep my cursor here and move downwards, and you can see the point here. Yes, suppose we have a circle here. Okay, and I want to create a line just below its center, not from its center but just below its center. If I wanted to create a line from its center, then I would have used this option, this object snap. But if I want to create a line just starting below its center, this option won't help us. This will help us. This object snap tracking option will help us in this way. Suppose this is the line, I will go to its center, and when I come down, you can see there is one tracker in the green dotted line option. I want to create my line just below its center and at the same line with this line. Then you can see here, from here I can create a line. Yes, and now just turn it off and join this point. Okay, that's it. So this was the use of object snap tracking. So this will track all the reference lines, and this will snap cursor to 2D reference points. Both will work simultaneously. So in this way, we have seen all the points or all the options of this status bar. The first one was grid mode. The shortcut option is F7, then snap mode F9, and then this dynamic input mode, and here the ortho mode F8, and then the polar tracking F10. This polar tracking is just opposite of this ortho mode. When you turn on this ortho mode, this will be off, and when you turn on this mode, this ortho mode will automatically be turned off. And this object snap mode, whose shortcut key is F3, and this object snap tracking mode, whose shortcut key is F11. I hope this video was useful to you. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button down there, and yes, do not forget to share with your friends. Thanks for watching.